When she met me, I think I was like shirtless, ironing my own clothes. We had instant chemistry, and now we have 4 kids. Hey, I'm John Legend, and this is my life in pictures. All right, I know this photo very well. These are my first 3 Grammys. I was nominated for 8 that night, won 3 of them. One was for Best R&B Album for Get Lifted, one was for Best New Artist, and one was for Best R&B Male Vocal Performance for Ordinary People. I'll never forget that night. And look, I color coordinated so I could match my Grammys, and that was a special night. I think it was more important to me, to win Best New Artist, because once you're nominated for that, you're not going to get nominated for it again. There's no chance to win it ever again. And it's the only award that I've ever won that was in the main categories that, are cross-genre, and you're competing with rock and pop and jazz and Latin, whatever is nominated. So to win in one of the main categories against all the other genres, an award that you can never win twice, that you can never be nominated for twice, that was pretty special. Oh, we went out afterwards. It was a party. We had an amazing night. My family was in town. I got a lot of tickets for people from Ohio to come to the show from my family, and we went out. We had a good night. All right, now this was the day I met Chrissy, and now we're in Culver City right now, and I believe the studio where we shot the video was right around here. My friend Nabil Elderkin, he knew Chrissy, we were friends, and he wanted to shoot a video for a song called Stereo. This was on my second album once again, so after I just won all the Grammys, and Nabil loved this particular song, and he really wasn't directing music videos yet, and he wanted to show people that he could. And so he made this video. A lot of it was green screen with like graphics and animation, and he just wanted to show people that he could do this. And he made a really cool video, and he cast this young lady named Chrissy Teigen that he had shot before for another campaign, and that's how we met. We didn't have a stylist for the shoot. It was very low budget. I styled myself. She walked in, and I'm just ironing. And I'm sure she made a joke about that, and we just clicked right away. This photo. We got married at Lake Como in September of 2013, so we just celebrated our 10th anniversary last year, and this was a very special moment. When we got married, of course, our family and our friends are there, and I wanted to commemorate it with a coffee table book. So I made like the kinds you get at like Barnes & Noble, like a Taschen book that you would gift to somebody. I made a coffee table book of our wedding. And so it's still sitting on the coffee table in our house. So our kids will go through it sometimes and see who we were before they came along. And then I just made a parallel version for the 10th year anniversary. So now we have the 2 versions of a coffee table book, one from 2013, one from 2023. We had an amazing day. One of the things that we wanted to make sure we did was to really be present, really remember everything, not drink too much, just really like be there in the moment so that we wouldn't forget. And then the photo books kind of help jog your memory too, but we really were present for it, and it was so celebratory. Our families coming together, our friends coming together. It was just a wonderful night. It's what you want a wedding to be. There was great music. I got to sing a little bit. The first time I sang All of Me live was at the wedding. Stevie Wonder came up on stage and sang a song. And then the late, great Biz Markie was our DJ for the party. And so we had an amazing night. I was so excited when I saw Chrissy in her wedding dress. She just looked like she was who she was supposed to be. It didn't look like it was unnatural for her to be in that dress. It just felt like she chose a dress that reflected her personality and made her feel good and confident. And I was superstitious and didn't want to see it until she walked down the aisle, and it was worth it to wait that long. I was so happy, just mesmerized, and I knew I made the right decision well before that, but it just confirmed it for me. The song that changed everything. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. We go to Lake Como early, and Nabil Elderkin, the same guy who directed the video where we met, he was the director of this video as well for All of Me. We shot it the same week we got married at Lake Como. We went to Lake Como a little bit early, and shot the video on the Thursday and Friday before we got married.
You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning.
And so we finish the shoot, we get ready for our rehearsal dinner, and then the next day we get married. And all of that was captured on video by Nabil, the same guy who introduced us. So it was a very full circle moment. And then of course, this song goes on to be the song that everyone plays at their weddings. You never know what's gonna happen with songs. I had a feeling it was gonna be successful. I told my label, keep working on it. This is gonna be my biggest song if we do it right. And obviously it ended up being my biggest song, but it took a long time. It came out in, I believe, August of 2013, and it didn't hit #1 on the charts until I think like May of 2014. So it took quite a long time. Went from only at urban adult contemporary radio to finally crossing over to every station, everywhere, all around the world. And you know, people ask me if I ever get tired of singing certain songs that everyone wants to hear. And I'm like, no, I am grateful. I'm grateful that this song has had this much impact and that people want to hear it and that people want to sing along with it at my shows. I'll never get tired of singing it. Free America is the organization we started about 10 years ago. So we're celebrating the 10-year anniversary of that too this year. And one of our visits that we did was to Folsom State Prison. And if you remember, Johnny Cash did a concert there as well. And we wanted to highlight the lives of all the people who are still incarcerated and to listen to them, to talk with them, to learn about their struggles, to learn about why they're there and what they want to say to the world, and then help amplify their voices and be a voice for them. And so all that we've done with Free America started with listening, started with meeting people where they are, hearing their concerns, and seeing how we could be helpful. And so Free America has really been one of the major voices fighting to end mass incarceration in America. And I'm so grateful for the work we've been able to do, all the partners that we have, and that we've made real progress. Since we started Free America, incarceration has gone down about 30% in America. And we're not the only ones working on it, but we are in the fight, and there's so many other people fighting with us, and we've made progress. This was a good night. This was in 2015. My friend Common and I wrote a song together for a film called Selma. Selma celebrates the life of Dr. Martin Luther King, Congressman John Lewis, and so many other activists who marched on Bloody Sunday on Selma, Alabama. And we wrote a song called Glory for that film. And it was really inspired directly by watching the film, talking with Common, who was actually acting in the film as well. If you recall, during this time, it was right around when Michael Brown was killed in the streets of Ferguson in Missouri. And so many people were marching, and it was really around the beginning of what we call Black Lives Matter right now. And we were so inspired by what the activists were doing in the streets in that moment. And in Glory, we talked about it. We sang about it, we wrote about it.
The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us.
And in turn, us being inspired by those activists, we wrote a song that inspires those activists. They would go out with our song, it would be the soundtrack to them marching. And so you can just see how activists inspire us, we inspire them, and it keeps this cycle of people going out there and speaking out for what's right. And this was the day we announced to everybody that we were pregnant. I think we were on the set of Lip Sync Battle, and this is Chrissy's green room, backstage, and we're like, we should tell people you're pregnant now, you're showing a little bit. And we decided that this would be the way to do it. Just me sitting there, rubbing her belly, and announcing to everybody we're pregnant with our first child. We tried very hard to get pregnant. We had a hard time conceiving naturally, so we used IVF to conceive, and it didn't work the very first time, but the second time, we got Luna, and I'm so happy we did. This is me in La La Land. I'm talking to my friends Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. That's my first kind of big role in a movie. I got to work with the great Damien Chazelle and these two amazing actors. It was fun. And La La Land, you know, obviously made a huge impact that award season. It was winning awards all through. Emma won Best Actress, and then we thought we won Best Picture, but we didn't. But we had an amazing run with that film, and it was so fun to be a part of it.
I just know I feel so good tonight.
What I got to see, especially because most of my scenes were with Ryan, was just how prepared he is as an actor, how hard he works. He had to be like a virtuosic pianist for this film because, you know, he's playing jazz piano, and he really studied to become an amazing pianist for this. I was so impressed. You know, I play piano for a living, and this guy, he was like doing amazing, like virtuosic things on the piano, and I don't know how much he had known prior to starting the film, but he really studied up to become great at it, and it just showed me the level of commitment he has to his craft, and I was really impressed by that. This was the Tonys in New York. We rarely get to do award shows in New York. Most of the award shows we do are in Los Angeles, but this was for the Tonys, which obviously honor all the great theater work that's done on Broadway. And my company, Get Lifted Film Company, we produce theater, and there was a play that we helped produce called Jitney by August Wilson, and we won Best Revival of a Play that night. And I got my Tony, which meant I was one award away from an EGOT. So I had Grammys already, I had the Oscar for Glory, and now I got the Tony for Jitney, and all I needed was an Emmy. Chrissy and I have gone through so much together. There's been so many highs, some lows, but we've been together through it all. And she's my best friend, she's my partner, my lover, she's everything that I could want in a wife, and I love when we're able to go to these events together. We laugh at them, we poke fun at them, we enjoy being starstruck and meeting people who, you know, we see on television, see on stage, and we have a lot of fun together at these events. So this is the night I became an EGOT. So there's a lot of Emmys to give out, and so they don't all happen on the main event. And so this was like the week before the main event. They gave out some of the awards, and ours was for Jesus Christ Superstar, and it was for Best Live Special. I produced this with my team and with Andrew Lloyd Webber, who was the original composer for Jesus Christ Superstar, Tim Rice, who's the original lyricist and book writer. We all needed an Emmy to become EGOTs that night, and we won it together and became the 13th, 14th, and 15th EGOTs in world history. It was so joyful. I was so happy. It was clear to me that this was my chance to become an EGOT, and I was just hopeful that it would happen. And Chrissy came with me. We actually had lip sync battle taping that day, and they gave us like a break during the window during which my award would be announced. So we drive down to the theater downtown where the Emmy ceremony is happening, just for that window during which the award's gonna be announced. We win, I do a little bit of press, and then we drive back to lip sync battle for her to finish filming. And I got to go to lip sync battle and just celebrate with the whole crew and all the cast, and we had an amazing night. This is what made me a VGOT. So my first season, season 16 of The Voice, back in 2019, I had an amazing singer from Texas named Malin Jarman, and she was my only finalist in the final round of The Voice. Every other finalist was from Team Blake, and you know, our fans loved Team Blake. They would always vote lots of Team Blake artists through, but I think it helped me that everybody else was from Team Blake because it kind of split the votes up, and it was left for me and this very talented young lady, Malin Jarman, who really earned it out there. She's an incredible singer, and she won The Voice during my first season as a coach, and that was pretty magical. I got to rub it in Blake's face, Adam Levine's face, Kelly's face. It was fun. And here we are, the Piece de Resistance, the most important award I've ever won, People's Sexiest Man Alive. I still can't believe it. I was very excited when I got the call that I was gonna be Sexiest Man Alive. Now, I knew that it was a double-edged sword, you know, because you're given this accolade, you're given this title, but some people are like, he's not literally the sexiest man alive. I can think of blah and blah and blah who should be the sexiest man alive. And you're like, we get it, we get it. Just let me have my moment, okay? And so I knew that it was a double-edged sword, but I was still excited to do the photo shoot. It was so fun. Yeah, we shot it in my backyard. This is my pool. And we knew what was gonna happen. Like, we get lots of acclaim, some jokes, some disses, and we got all of it. I just decided not to look at my Twitter for like a week. And this last photo is from our 10th anniversary party. We went right back to the same place where we got married, Lake Como in Italy. And this time we had 4 kids. Look at Ren, he's so little. So we had just completed our family, because we're done. We had just completed our family just a couple months before that. And we got to bring all of them to Italy, to Lake Como, where it all started. And it was such an amazing celebration. We brought so many family members and friends. We kind of recreated the magic of our wedding night, but this time with some new friends, but a lot of people who've been with us through it all. And then of course, our family. It was so fun.